Telecom's 4G rollout gains momentum. New public finance body launched. And stronger police presence at city Christmas lights.
This is National MTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me with Tuesday's news. Telekom's rollout of its 4G network reached a new high this morning after the Telikom headquarters in Leh was besieged by a crowd of eager customers seeking new SIM cards and phone replacements. Telekom's new network offers faster internet and cheaper internet costs never before seen in Papua New Guinea. The company expects data purchases to rise in the coming months as the customer base expands.
As early as 6, members of the public gathered outside the Telikom office in Leh. Some came armed with registration forms filled out and ready to buy the Telikom SIM card. Others came armed with old phones to have them replaced.
Telikom PNG communication company used that.
This is the second week since Telikom teams began a promotion to encourage people to use a network that has seen significant improvements made to it. For many customers, the improvement that matters the most are the cheaper data rates that significantly challenge existing cost structures by existing networks. Over the next few months, the company will be expanding its network to other regions in an effort to improve the customer experience. Scott White, National MTV News, Leh.
The momentum to bring more tourists to PNG shores is gaining ground, with the ministry set to roll out the Tourism Police program to another tourist hotspot in the country. Initiated at Mount Wilhelm, Tourism Police is now set to be established for the Kokoda track. This was announced today by Tourism Minister Tobias Kulang.
This is part of the effort to throw off the dangerous destination tag that has plagued PNG's efforts in selling the country as a tourist destination.
You miss out some law, no that one big issue law, development law, tourism. I'm stuff under you mean. It's been a stigma, it's been an issue for a very long time. But we did not take the decisive steps to do anything about it.
The tourism police concept is to build manpower of community police officers supervised by regular police officers who will be specially trained to be tourist conscious, which in some countries extends to being multilingual.
It serves two purposes. One is a community tourism policy. One is law and order for the district, and two is for the tourism.
It is a concept that is highly supported by the Police Commissioner Gary Baki, who believes it can change Papua New Guineans' ownership of law and order.
I think a concept that we can look at, study, and appreciate what we can do, but we design what is best for Papua New Guinea, based on our own sites, based on the magnitude of a number of visitors coming to the country, the issues affecting law and order around Papua New Guinea. So we marry all of that together and look at what is the best approach for us in terms of tourism police.
And the police have gone to the extent of accommodating tourism police in the police hierarchy.
So community policing is going to be realigned to take on tourism.
The announcement was done today at the State Function Room and was witnessed by tourism police officers from Mount Wilhelm who have just walked the Kokoda track.
We're going to celebrate 75th anniversary. That means increased activity in that area, increased visitors. So apart from other things like accommodation, all the services that needs to be readily available, security is one important factor.
Sarah Aupong, National MTV News.
The alarming incidents of gender-based violence in the country have seen the need to address this issue at a national level. NCD Governor Poes Pakop said the level of gender-based violence in the country is not acceptable. It is a human rights issue. The city of Port Moresby will make a stand to address gender-based violence on Friday with a sit-in protest and present a petition with the objective of a strategic plan for gender-based violence.
The strategic planned petition is a serious approach of addressing gender-based violence on a national level. Gender-based violence must be taken seriously as it affects not only women and girls but communities. It creates a mindset that is looked upon as a norm in the society.
We don't have a critical voice, women's voice in Parliament to make changes happen. We need all of you, 111 members, to make this happen for us.
But don't forget the sons are also in danger. A lot of young boys are being raped also, children who are being raped. Children aged 10 and down are the ones we are also seeing at family support centers going for treatment. So this thing is not just about protecting women and girls. Our sons are also in danger.
And City Governor Powers Pakop expressed strongly that violence against women is more than women and gender-based violence issues. It is a human rights issue that put lives of women and girls at risk.
Since last week, since the horrific story came out, we've been calling for the government, especially the Department for Community Development and the Minister, to present this report, the Papua New Guinea National Strategy to Prevent and Respond to Gender-Based Violence. It's been ready since 2015. It needs to go to Cabinet, and the Cabinet can approve it. They can do some changes if they want, but importantly is to approve it so they can allocate, the adequate resources that is needed to deal with this, epidemic, and set up a structure.
Meanwhile, NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Ben Turi says the police have also been challenged by the police commissioner to stop violence against women.
Those who commit polygamous marriage in the barracks, by the commissioner, he said everybody should not be allowed houses and will be dealt with. And he challenged every officer in the room to stop polygamy in the barracks.
The sit-in protest will be held on Friday this week in front of the City Hall traffic lights up to the Manasupe traffic lights. It is open to the general public and participants are asked to wear orange. Pick-up and drop-off will be available at major bus stops on Friday morning. Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
During the conference to announce the Friday's demonstration, Metropolitan Superintendent Ben Turi had to break up an argument that erupted among the women who were there to support the movement. The argument was between the NCD Council of Women and the Walk and Yoga for Life members. The argument disturbed the media conference to the point that the Metropolitan Superintendent had to stop responding to a question by a journalist to tell the women off.
On security, but you help us to go out and, on air and educate them to this. The night is not for the men only; it's for everyone. Our girls should come and freely walk around and enjoy the lights and sing and everything. And you ladies out there, let's talk. Hey, ladies, listen. We are here for a purpose. If there's any politics going on with the women issue, we have to solve a problem here. Okay, stop that unnecessary thing there. Women, we work together. Listen, we are here for the purpose on Friday, and don't forget about all our petty politics. Listen, stop it now. We are here for a purpose, and we must do it. All right, stop that, both of you out there, and get out from each other. Okay. No petty politics in this meeting. We are here for a purpose.
Concerns were also raised by the Metropolitan Superintendent on the safety of residents in Port Moresby, especially at the 5 Mile Christmas light celebrations. It has become an attraction for residents as well as thieves. Many city residents have been attacked while traveling in their vehicles in the vicinity. Police will begin to beef up security tonight around the city.
With our security personnel, with NCD Reserve Police, we did cater for all those possibilities from the beginning, but maybe what we have put in place is inadequate, and that's why today I've met with the Metropolitan Superintendent, so the regular police can come on to back it up too. But what I want to say is that the whole purpose of having this Christmas celebration is to get our people to, take ownership of the night space, and also celebrate Christmas in the true spirit that it should be. Unfortunately, a few individuals, taking advantage and causing fear and harassment and violence to people.
Night. Yeah. We have Bomana Police College and Ben's on New Year's Eve. We have police headquarters and police band to beef our security around the city.
The law and order issue is not only a police responsibility. We expect every Papua New Guinea to treat people, properly. If you're going for a concert that has been put on for everybody to watch, then you go there as a true Papua New Guinean and celebrate Christmas in the true spirit of Christmas.
Edaranu has advised that the following areas will experience water disruption tomorrow, Wednesday 14th December from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. All of Gerhu, including Rainbow, Pomnet, NRI, including some areas at the back of Gerhu shown on your screen. Affected areas at Waigani are UPNG, 4th Bena, North Waigani, as well as NCC Valley, Tokarara and June Valley. Hotels affected include Holiday Inn, Lamana, Vision City, Stanley Hotel, City Hall and areas from Hohola to Mar Barracks. The disruption is due to the existing water main at Kora Way being relocated to Tokarara to cater for the new road construction. Edaranu has apologized for the disruption. For further information, please contact the hotline on your screen. Among stories after the break, improving education in Yanguru Sausia, pioneers graduate from Zionsdale Christian Academy, and Mount Hagen Lutheran Church celebrates Silver Jubilee. Stay with us. Welcome back. Yanguru Secondary School in the East Sepik Province has been given a timely boost for its 2017 academic year with the opening of 3 new classrooms last Friday. Member for Yanguru Sausia, Richard Maru, who opened the classrooms, said over 700,000 kina has been invested into the secondary school with the aim of improving the quality of learning in the district.
The opening of the classrooms marks the start of major developments in Yanguru Secondary. It also shows the amount of investment the district has put into education in the last 4 years.
School classrooms open.
For 2016 alone, over 700,000 kina has been put into Yanguru Secondary to improve its infrastructures, a thing that has been lacking in the last 10 years.
We are investing in elementary schools, we are investing in primary schools, we are investing in our high schools and secondary schools. It's a long-term investment. The real benefits will be clear in the next few years as we see the academic results of the students coming through this high school.
Member for Yanguru Sausia, Richard Maru, who has embarked on education as a priority for his district, says in order to improve the standard of education, quality infrastructures must be in place to do so.
When we come to buildings and infrastructure, we must have a very good plan in terms of the layout of the school, and the quality of buildings must match a school which will in future be a school of excellence in this province.
The member also officiated at a groundbreaking ceremony that will see the construction of the school's new administration building.
So action will come up again. We will him groundbreaking today. Minjamina we like him chairman. Work start tomorrow. Work start or Monday. Can have also groundbreaking na. Make some show. Imi talk na action.
Stanley Ove Jr., National EMTV News.
Despite facing management problems earlier this year, Yanguru Secondary graduated over 300 grade 10 and grade 12 students last Friday. With the graduation theme in pursuit of excellence, school head teacher Philip Pena said the support of all stakeholders, including the Yanguru Sausia District Administration, the school has improved this year in terms of its academic performance.
Yanguru Secondary, one of the oldest secondary schools in the country, saw its 39th grade 10 and 8th grade 12 graduation last Friday. Despite heavy rains, the ceremony was packed to capacity. A total of 244 grade 10 and 101 grade 12 students graduated with academic awards and attainment certificates. Philip Penna, who was appointed head teacher after the former principal was terminated, said 2016 was a challenging year. However, they have managed to pull through, and the graduation is testimony to that. He says the success of the academic year was because of the stakeholders. This included the board of the school, the Yanguru Sausia District Administration, and most importantly, the parents and students.
Despite lo disla problem come up long suspension long principle, ibla no toknogat lo pikini blibla, ibla sawas we got line start, ibla continue lo salim pikini blibla come, and we make it happen that those kids are now graduate in front of you.
Officiating as the guest speaker, the member for Yanguru Sausia, Richard Maru, challenged the graduating students to aim for excellence. He said with limited spaces available at tertiary institutions, the quality of education in the district must improve.
Me fed up. Every year looking at this paper, the last 10 years, grade 12 results, now line go to universities and colleges. You hardly find younger resumption students. Only go to school or place now will come. PNG knows it before. With free education today, 2 million students are going to school every year now. Triple number. In fact, the number will get bigger. No other opportunity. So we have to compete with academic results. And that's all. Young people not perform, and people are killing future people over there.
With education being a top priority, the member announced his plans to improve education in the district.
In the next few years, Yanguru Social Bank at 4 major secondary schools. West Yanguru, East Yanguru, Numbo, Sausa, and junior high schools, like Kusambo.
Stanley Over Jr., National, EMTV News.
A non-government institution in Port Moresby witnessed its Pioneer Grade 8 graduate today. Zanzil Christian Academy graduated 15 students at the Sir John Guise Indoor Complex. Chairman Michael Kumung said the school will maintain its Christian pillars to educate PNG's next generation.
Today was history in the making for the non-government institution that humbly began its establishment in 2006 with only 30 students. This morning, Zion Zil Christian Academy held a graduation ceremony for its 15 grade 8 students and elementary grade 2s who will bridge to do grade 3. Parents, students, teachers and other stakeholders were present to witness the occasion. Speaking during the ceremony, Regional Assistant Secretary Inspection from the Division of Education, Paul Ainu, said early childhood education with the right learning ethics is the way forward.
We commend and acknowledge you for being one of the determined partners in the provision of education services to our children.
Zion Zil Christian Academy now enrolls over 200 students with chapters in Geru, 9 Mile and Waigani. For this small educational institution that hardly gets funding support from the government, embarking on godly principles is at the heart of its education system.
Awesome, so we believe in the system that we develop from kindergarten. We make sure that, he or she is the best student that we need in our school.
The focus for today was the Pioneer Grade 8s. However, the lower primary were also presented academic awards. The institution rarely depends on government support and the much-talked free education system, but has big plans.
So Giantzil, 11 years ago, it was just an idea. We crafted in the streets of Waigani, and we believe that one day Giantzil will become a big tree that will provide shade, that will provide fruits for the people.
Next year, the institution will establish its Boroko chapter and also see its Pioneer Grade 8s elevated to Grade 9. Jaglapava Jr., National, EMTV News.
The congregation of Mount Hagen Good Shepherd Lutheran Church celebrated their 25th Jubilee anniversary this week. It was started by the Morbe people who traveled up to settle in Western Highlands Province in the colonial days. Today, it is one of 6 congregations of Mount Hagen City Circuit of the Evangelical Lutheran Church.
Pioneers of Good Shepherd Lutheran Church and their families traveled up to Mount Hagen from Morobe to celebrate the 25th anniversary. Good Shepherd Lutheran Church was settled at a place called Mopa on December 8, 1991. MOPA used to be an association called Morobe People's Association, which started in 1974. It eventually turned into MOPA Settlement, where people, mostly Morobians, settled in Mount Hagen.
Unique amamas. Now unique enjoy na stop inside on this plan. Mari na belly ship longot. If full up on this plan kingdom blongem. Also now you me thank you. Longot, and me bring me plan come long this plan 25 years.
The Catholic Church was the first to be brought into Western Highlands Province in 1933. Then came the Lutheran Church in 1935 by the Kote people from Finschhafen in Morobe Province. Those evangelists did not go back but settled in Mount Hagen. Many of the pioneers died, but they still have their children and grandchildren who married Western Highlanders.
History Megan talk out long 1974. Mobile settlement all Papa long Nabis, all Kote, all Finschhafen, all come Sinda long start. The being on this line, Morgada district long Morobe, all Pulim line only go inside.
Sunday marked the 25 years Good Shepherd Lutheran Church settled at Mopa. Most of its congregations are generations of the Lutheran missionaries in Morobe Province who brought Christianity to Western Highlands Province. Vastinata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Morobe's Program Advisor for Education, Keith Jiram, is warning schools in the province not to do any more financial transactions once the academic year ends. Jiram says the final TFF component for this year arrived 2 weeks ago. However, he has warned schools that all school accounts must not be accessed once the academic year ends.
Jiram says a decision has been made that all schools must end the academic year on the 8th of December. The final TFF component released recently should be saved until the 2017 academic year resumes.
No withdrawals. Once the academic year ends, financial transactions from the school accounts also ceased.
But Jiram says schools in Morobe Province will continue to implement the TFF policy next year. He said Provincial Education Board has made a decision to reintroduce school fees in all the schools. However, this will only be implemented once the National Education Board endorsed it.
They endorse before we start implementing it. As the member of the National Education Board, I will take that one up.
The delay in the payment of TFF funds has caused some schools to close before the 8th of December. Other schools in the country also faced a similar experience since 2015. Mata Luis, National EMTV News, Ley.
The country's total need for quality goods and services has always outweighed the revenue basket the government has each year. Minister for Finance James Marape said this at the announcement of the revised Public Finance Management Act. He said the value of quality goods and services stands on average at 500 billion kina a year.
The review of the Public Finance Management Act is an essential component of the Public Financial Management Reform, which was launched last year. The reforms are expected to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of government action and public service delivery. It's also expected to reinforce transparency and accountability of public finances. Minister Marape said this was important given the limited financial resources the government has to manage.
Deliverers of goods and services in this country, we must not be complacent in thinking that every fiscal budget we have every year is in surplus. When you compare in the context of total need of our country since 1975, our need has always outweighed the actual envelope of money we have every year as revenue.
European Union Ambassador Yanis Georkarakis Agiropoulos was pleased that the EU was the first development partner to assist the Department of Finance work on this reform through its provision of technical expertise and capacity building.
And I look forward to see Papua New Guinea being the leader in the improvement of public financial management and governance in the region. I look forward to that, and I'm very pleased with this reform.
Dr. Ken Nangan, Secretary for Finance, urged everyone dealing with public finance to acquaint themselves with the new act.
There are requirements in there that will hold us strongly accountable to the actions that we perform in managing public finances. The penalties are severe, and I must warn you that. I urge everyone in public service performing public finance management functions to study the contents of the new PFMA, because ignorance is no excuse. You will be held liable under the new act.
The amendments of the Public Finance Management Act of 2016 are expected to be effective as of the 1st of January 2017. Deli Waigeno, National, EMTV News.
In the meantime, a new body for public finance management practitioners was launched alongside the amended act. The body is called the Papua New Guinea Association of Government Accountants and Public Finance Managers Incorporated. Minister for Finance James Marape urged the custodians of the Public Finance Management Act to read and take to heart the newly amended Public Finance Management Act.
The PNG Association of Government Accountants and Public Finance Managers Incorporated was launched by Minister Marape, Finance Secretary Dr. Ken Nangan, and Chief Secretary Isaac Lupari. It's an initiative of Secretary Nangan that will run parallel with his other initiative to redeem the public finance management practice in PNG.
So I appeal to you all. We will be carrying out intensive awareness, making you all aware of the requirements of the new Public Finance Management Act, as it will help us do our jobs better, but at the same time.
Minister Marape, who is also interim patron, said the members need to know the Act as amended for efficient work to be done.
Build a new generation of public accountants that are good stewards for our country going today onwards.
The PNG Association of Government Accountants and Public Finance Managers Incorporated was established as an avenue to motivate and provide professional development for public finance management practitioners, including public service managers. The aim is to bring about improvement and efficiency at the workplace. Deli Waigeno, National, EMTV News.
And now looking at our finance news, the Kina closed unchanged at 0.3155 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying 0.3075 US dollars, 0.4078 Australian dollars, 0.2866 euro and 35.01 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa and copra closed higher while gold closed the day lower. Crude oil and copper closed lower while palm oil closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 39.58 points higher, the ASX is trading at 17.83 points lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 18.42 points lower. In the news ahead, HM PNGS Lakekamu arrives back from a month-long operation in the Western Pacific region. That story and more after the break. Welcome back to the news. Navy vessel HM PNGS Lakekamu is in the country after a month of operation in the Western Pacific region. These countries include Vanuatu, New Caledonia and Solomon Islands. This afternoon, Captain of the vessel Lieutenant Commander James Carroll gave EMTV News a tour of the vessel.
Lakekamu is one of PNGDF's Navy landing vessels, which is often used for training naval officers while out at sea. This Navy ship is 42 meters in length and can carry up to 52,000 liters of fuel. It has just completed exercises in Vanuatu, Solomon Islands and New Caledonia. Captain of Lakekamu, Lieutenant Commander James Carroll of the Royal Australian Navy spoke of the different exercises the ship's crew engaged in before giving EMTV News a tour of the vessel.
This exercise, Southern Cross, is conducted by 12 nations from the region and around the world to test the capacity for human and disaster relief post a cyclone event. Lucky Kamu was the only amphibious platform in the exercise, and we were the high value unit and moved vehicles around the area to enable the force to conduct their exercises ashore.
Naval training is an important aspect of a naval officer. Thus, much of the time is spent on training. For the PNGDF naval officers, much of their training is conducted through joint exercises with the Australian or New Zealand Navy.
To attend the exercise, we steamed over 5,000 nautical miles and conducted port visits in Wewak, Vanuatu, Noumea in New Caledonia and Honiara in the Solomon Islands.
The ship has cabinets for both junior and senior naval officers, including recreational and dining areas. EMTV was also given a tour of the ship's engine room. It can accommodate close to 30 naval officers. However, much of the space is used to carry cargoes. Tekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
The new posting of Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Edison Apio of the 1st Royal Pacific Islands Regiment was announced during the PNG Defence Forces end-of-year parade. Edison was promoted to Director Lands Preparation and will be reporting directly to Colonel Siale Diro, the Director of Force Preparation. He announced this during his final parade as the 1RPIR Commanding Officer at Tarama today.
Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Edison Apio will be leading his soldiers for a new posting. It has been Edison's 25 years in the military, and this has been his second year being the commanding officer of 1st Royal Pacific Islands Regiment. During his service as the commanding officer, 1RPIR, he started a company of excellence concept. He was also involved in the peace process of the standoff between the police and defense force.
But it has been a very good 2 years for me. Very tough when there's problems, but a tough journey, but I've enjoyed.
Edison will be posted as the Director Lands Preparation and will hand over the title and parade during the last parade on the 27th of January 2017 to LT Boniface Arua. Edison says he has implemented his leadership with all his heart, and he commented for the new commanding officer to improve on what he has done. Sawato Ahambu, National EMTV News.
5 eco-friendly toilets have been installed in Wagang outside of Lake City as part of efforts to manage rising sea levels. Wagang community has identified as an area experiencing rising sea levels, making it difficult to build pit toilets. 12 architectural students from Melbourne University were engaged to construct the toilets. The materials used were bought by the Australian High Commission.
This room consists of these 2 toilet pots. They both will not be used at the same time. Whenever someone uses it, they have to throw in dry leaves for composting. Once the toilet is full, this white square wooden cover will be placed on the top of the toilet lid to prevent people from using it until the mulch is decomposed. This second pot can then be ready to use, while the decomposed waste is used as fertilizers in the gardens.
In 2014, we went to a village near Wewak where we built neonatal clinics, the same Bauer studio, but different groups. And we built a similar composting toilet and a neonatal clinic over there. And we would like to continue on the project or program that we're doing, but with different projects.
The project was headed by Bauer Studio of PNG, which is focused on implementing projects in disaster-affected areas.
Water from the ocean and from floods from the lagoon, when it comes into the community, it makes the pit toilets flood, and that means that people can get very, very sick. So we're very interested in working with the community to make a project where people can be much more healthy.
12 architecture students from Melbourne University were engaged to carry out the project within 2 weeks.
First time in a community like this, it's just amazing to see, the real sense of community here. It's just incredible. You don't get that back in Melbourne at all. So it's really great to see.
Some community members also graduated with certificates today after being trained on carpentry by Bauer Studio.
I'm helping me at the time to community, so we can go out to some the community again and building a toilet to team.
At the back of me is one of the 5 composed toilets which saw its completion yesterday. These toilets will benefit more than 4,000 people in Wagang community. The toilets will be maintained by community members who graduated with certificates today. Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
Up next on Chukai Sports, plans for the High Performance Centre to become a sports academy and news on rugby union. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. The installment of the High Performance Division under the PNG Sports Foundation has been an achievement as evident in the 2015 Pacific Games and many other major events. While the budget for sports in 2017 has been minimized, Executive Director of the Sports Foundation, Peter Tsamalili Jr., is adamant on maintaining the high performance unit and, in the long run, establishing a sports academy.
High Performance Division under the provision of Aaron Alsop has been phenomenal for the performance and representation of Team PNG internationally. Since the inception of the unit just prior to the 2015 Pacific Games, Papua New Guinea has been on the brink of success. Maintaining that level of success, however, is imperative, and that can only be done through a high performance unit.
At the academy, we are going to be establishing ourselves. We already actually established. High Performance is now established over in Leh, and they're working out of Cygnus' Kilage. And the High Performance basically addresses that part of an athlete. Understanding the high level of being a competitive athlete. The lower end, in terms of being specific about a sport, the way forward is, I believe, the national federations will really need to be robust now.
When asked about whether or not the PNG Sports Foundation would look into establishing a sports academy, Chamalili Jr. said it would be a lengthy process.
It comes back to the foundation and to the government that we really need to get physical education back into schools. There is no other way that we are going to maintain the great investment by the government in terms of the international facilities and then back it up with skilled athletes. The only way is to get our sports back into schools.
The High Performance Division has been a worthy investment for sports in Papua New Guinea, as evidenced by the growing success of sports such as cricket, va'a, swimming and athletics. Lorraine Genia, National EMTV Sports.
To rugby union, President of the Spartans Rugby Club, Frank Mekanui, has questioned the deferral of Capital Rugby Union's annual general meeting. Mekanui, who has been very vocal on rugby matters over the past 12 months, has expressed his disappointment towards the committee led by Jacob Anga.
We have been demanding the convention of this AGM for the last 6 months. In fact, the last time I spoke about it was in a CRU executive meeting. It was promised that it will be done 2 weeks after the grand final, which was held in June. It will be hypocritical of CRU to be joining forces and demanding that PNG Rugby has its AGM and clean its act when CRU itself has not done so. The very same thing being demanded by my president, I am demanding of him.
The third day of the Southern Nines tournament saw a heated affair between the Simla Warrior brothers and Wanigela Kavela. With only 9 minutes on each side of the field, Wanigela Kavela proved too strong to the defendant, burying Silma Warrior Brothers 6 feet underground with 4 points different at full time. Here's Godwin Eki with more.
It was game on for Wanigela Kavela and Simla Waroi Brothers on the field to a scintillating start, racing to score a try with only 9 minutes on each side. The first 9 minutes of the match of the first half saw great defense at the start of the whistle, but as the time narrowed, Brothers added extra speed, fencing out their opponent, managing to get through the gaps of the first 9 minutes. Brothers scored their first try at the 5th minute, leading with 4 points with conversion unsuccessful. In the remaining 4 minutes of the first half, Wanigela managed to chase after the Brothers as they ganged up on the defense, proving to make use of the remaining 4 minutes. The second half of the match turned out to be tough as Wanigela sported a gap, passing the ball smoothly to score their first try, equalizing the score at 4 points each. With 7 minutes remaining to full time, the teams showed great tactics, keeping the ball flowing from one side of the field to the other. The momentum doubled for both teams with 6 minutes remaining to full time. Using the gaps provided by the Brothers, Wanigela took the opportunity, accelerating on their speed, going tough while passing the ball right through to the end to score their second try at the remaining minutes of full time, nailing the coffin with an 8-point lead at full time. In the other matches, Sekera Seals led with 10 points against Alalo Eels, and a match between Trial Storms and SSG Roosters saw SSG sharpen their knives with 8 points attack win to Seal 0. The matches continue tomorrow with finals to be played on Thursday. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome back to Chukai Sports. 22 players have been named in the Northern and Highlands Rugby League Academy squad to train with the SP Hunters in Goroka next week. 17-year-old Foursquare College student Thompson Yakimbu caught the attention of national coach Michael Marum during his side's grand final win to claim the Enga Under-18 schoolboys title in Warburg last month. Marum invited him to be part of the Hunters Academy training schedule. Jiwaka Under-18 promising forward John Bitt joins fellow schoolboy Benson Loma, while Western Highlands schoolboys trio Edwin Epape, Isaiah Tali and Matthew Jesse have also been named in the squad. Early last month, Cronulla Sharks fullback Ben Baba tested positive for cocaine following an NRL-organised illicit drug testing program. The star player and one of the try scorers in Cronulla Sharks' history grand final win this year may not make it back next year with the defending champions.
Baba was given a 12-month suspension by the NRL early last month following the drug test that was apparently the second consecutive test in 2 years that indicated Baba's consumption of the illicit substance. According to NRL, Baba's suspension comes as a reminder of the ultimate penalty if one is found to be consuming illicit substances. Speculations afterward that Baba will be joining the Japanese Rugby Union have been denied by teammate Jack Bird, as reported by the Sydney Morning Herald. Bird affirmed that the fullback will definitely make his comeback with the 2016 Premiers. Ben Baba himself, a father of 4, has expressed remorse over the poor choices he made. He is currently undergoing rehabilitation and hopes to make it back into the Cronulla side in the near future. Dini Rose Raiko, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Chukai Sports. The weather details when we come back.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
Looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region, fine with chances of afternoon showers developing in Port Moresby and Kerma. Rain showers easing in Daru, mostly fine in Alotau and cloudy periods in Popondetta. In the Momasi region, fine although cloudy at times in Leh, cloudy chances of afternoon light showers and rain in Medang, partly cloudy with chances of afternoon showers developing in Wewak and a few showers and thunderstorms in Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, few showers and thunderstorms in Lorengau and Buka, mostly fine in Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul and Kimbe. And the Highlands region, mostly fine with chances of afternoon shower or two developing in Mount Hagen, partly cloudy with chances of afternoon showers in Goroka and Kundiawa, with cloudy periods with chances of afternoon showers in Medang and Wabeg. Mendi and Wabeg.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield, with doing with Dulux.
Now recapping our main stories for tonight. Telecom's 4G rollout gains momentum, new public finance body launched, and stronger police presence at the city Christmas lights. And that has been the news for tonight. On behalf of the entire EMTV News team, I'm Helen Sear. Pleasant viewing. Good night.